Let's begin with breaking news that's coming in of what every camp is up to right now. With all of the churn that we've seen in Maharashtra politics, it's all about sending out a message on who's the most powerful. And on your screens right now are images coming in from Shivaji Park. This is Chief Minister Eknath Shinde, who's visiting the Bala Sahib Smarak in Shivaji Park on the occasion of Guru Purnima. The fight over the legacy of Bala Sahib Thackeray is on display there on your screens, as Eknath Shinde has time and again referred to him being the true heir of Bala Sahib's legacy because he's carried forward his ideology. You juxtapose this with what's happening currently with the NCP. It's a very, very similar narrative. While in the Shiv Sena you saw the split over Bala Sahib's legacy, over the Thackeray name, over the party name and the poll symbol. Similarly now, a rift between the Pawars over the Pawar legacy, over the NCP party name and the poll symbol. So very similar what we're witnessing essentially in Maharashtra, in a sense of deja vu, I'm sure, for all Maharashtrians. You may question the intent, you may question what really led to what we're seeing right now, but the reality is that at the end of the day, it's very unpredictable to say what's going to happen next in Maharashtra. And at this point, looking at what's happened in the NCP, Ajit Pawar is saying, I have the numbers. Sharad Pawar is saying, I have the support of every single NCP loyalist, as he displayed just a few hours ago when he visited Karad as well. Let's in fact focus on more breaking updates that's coming in. Let's get you more reactions that are coming in. Remember that the announcement has been made of the Ajit faction, BJP and Shinde Sena being officially referred to as the Mahayuti alliance in Maharashtra. And now Sanjay Raut, who's part of the Uddhav Sena, has hit out at this alliance. He's saying that Pawar was aware of Ajit's attempts of his coup against the NCP, and he said that the political game of BJP will be reversed in Maharashtra. A trend we're seeing here of most of these political leaders reinstilling their faith, reposing their trust in Sharad Pawar, saying he will emerge on the top of this political battle and making it very clear that at this point Sharad Pawar knew what was happening and he has things under control. Let's play out for you this exclusive reaction from Sanjay Raut.
शरद पवार साहब का दावा है कि 3 महीने में पिक्चर बदल जाएगी। क्या आपको लगता है कि असल पिक्चर अभी बाकी है?
देखिए, भारतीय जनता पार्टी जिस प्रकार की राजनीति इस देश में करने जा रही है वो महाराष्ट्र में नहीं चलेगी। दाव उल्टा पड़ेगा। हमारी पार्टी तोड़ दी, लेकिन शिंदे से काम नहीं बन रहा है तो एनसीपी तोड़ दिया। अब अजित पवार से भी काम नहीं बनेगा, क्योंकि लोग जो है ऐसे लोग नेता के साथ नहीं रहते। वो नेता नहीं है, पार्टी है, इसलिए वो नेता बन गए। शिवसेना पूरी ठाकरे साहब के साथ है और एनसीपी का पूरा केडर पवार साहब के साथ है। और हम महाविकास आघाड़ी जो हमने बनाई है वो ज्यादा मजबूत हो रही है। ये जो बीजेपी जो कर रहे हैं ना खेल,
इससे आपको लगता है मजबूती आप लोगों को मिल रही है?
डेफिनेटली लोगों की सिंपैथी है, कार्यकर्ता मजबूती से लड़ने को तैयार है, सड़क पर उतरे हैं। तो बीजेपी को करके सब क्या मिल रहा है? ये अहंकार की राजनीति क्यों कर रहे हैं? अगर आपके पास इतनी मेजॉरिटी महाराष्ट्र में है, 170 है, 175 है, तो वापस से 40 है, वापस एनसीपी के तोड़ो, उसके तोड़ो, ये खेल क्यों चल रहा है?
मतलब लगता है कि प्रफुल्ल पटेल जब जाते हैं तो ऐसा लगता है कि शायद ये कहा जा रहा है कि पवार साहब को सब खबर थी।
नहीं, पवार साहब को खबर थी, ये टूट रहे हैं। उस बारे में मैंने पहले भी बात की। ये लोग टूट रहे हैं, ये लोग जा रहे हैं, पवार साहब को पूरी खबर थी। जैसे हमको खबर थी हमारे लोग टूट रहे हैं, तोड़ने की कोशिश हो रही है, ये खबर तो सबको थी।
विपक्ष की बैठक होने वाली है, उस पर कुछ आपको लगता है कि एक बहुत बड़ा झटका 17-18 को बैठक है बेंगलुरु में, पवार साहब आप लोग जाएंगे?
कोई झटका नहीं, कोई झटका नहीं।
And has been non-stop twists and turns through the day. 24 hours after Ajit Pawar was sworn in as the Deputy Chief Minister, and many of, in fact, the NCP leaders chose to side with him being sworn in to the Maharashtra government. Sharad Pawar issued an order removing Sunil Tatkare as well as Prafull Patel from the party, disqualifying them essentially. These two are MPs. Now, immediately after that, minutes later, you had Prafull Patel addressing a press conference saying Sunil Tatkare, the man who's been suspended and sacked by Sharad Pawar, is now the the NCP chief. So both sides now propping up their own faces to claim that we are the only ones who can make organizational changes. How will this be solved? Well, it's essentially a story that we've visited far too often, and the latest example is of what happened with Shiv Sena. This will take a legal angle if it continues in this manner, and of course it comes down to who has the numbers as well. Just about an hour ago, you had Ajit Pawar along with Praful Patel and Bhujbal addressing the media, speaking about the kind of support and maintaining that there is no rebellion against Sharad Pawar. Let's play out some of the highlights.
काही आमच्या 9 लोकांना नोटीस काढली वगैरे काढली, त्यांना काही नोटीस काढण्याचा अधिकार नाहीये. शेवटी पक्ष आणि चिन्ह हे आमच्या बरोबर आहे असं आमचा ठाम विश्वास आहे. आणि ह्या सगळ्या गोष्टी करत असताना आमच्या बरोबरचे आमदार या सगळ्यांचंच भवितव्य हे व्यवस्थित कसं राहील, त्यांना कुठल्याही प्रकारची घटनेची कायद्याची अडचण येणार नाही ह्याबद्दलची खबरदारी आम्ही सगळेजण घेतो. बहुसंख्य आमदार हे राष्ट्रवादी काँग्रेस पक्षाबरोबर आमच्याबरोबर आहेत. आम्ही सगळेजण एकत्रपणे काम करतोय. पुढेही आम्ही महाराष्ट्राच्या भल्याकरता काम करत राहणार. राष्ट्रवादी काँग्रेस पक्षाच्या बळकटीकरणाकरता काम करत राहणार.
तो जो पहले के जो पदाधिकारी थे उनको तत्काल कुछ कंटिन्यूटी के लिए चार्ज हमने फिर से दिया था, जिसमें महाराष्ट्र की जिम्मेदारी हमने श्री जयंत पाटिल को दी थी. उस जिम्मेदारी को आज तक हमने उनको वो करने का मौका दिया, लेकिन अभी मैंने राष्ट्रीय कार्यकारी अध्यक्ष के नाते उसमें महाराष्ट्र की जिम्मेदारी आज से श्री सुनील तटकरे जी को देने का फैसला किया है, और वो पत्र उनको मैं अभी यहां पर आप सभी के सामने देने वाला हूं.
It comes down essentially to the numbers right now in Maharashtra, looking at how things have changed in the last 24 hours. So on one hand, with the Shinde government of a total of 288 seats, 195 are with the Shinde government. The halfway mark, majority mark, they're written for you at 145. And this is, if you keep in mind that there are 24 MLAs with the Ajit Pawar faction. Now 106 of the BJP, 44 of the Shinde Sena, 21 others, they were already at a comfortable level of 171. Then you have the NCP with 24 more, and we're talking about the Ajit Pawar faction now. This entire alliance is referred to as the Mahayuti. Now what about the other side, the Mahavikas Aghadi? Now, at one point, the numbers look very different. Today, it's a very, very different story, because you look at the NCP under Sharad Pawar, the numbers are about 14. That could, of course, change. Both of these are based on claims and counterclaims put forth, but overall, their numbers at this point are much, much lower. If you look at really the number of MLAs who are yet to reportedly take a call, it's about 15 NCP MLAs who remain undecided. If they switch to that side or this side, it doesn't make a difference as far as the government formation is concerned. But what it does make a difference to is the NCP and really who holds on to power in the party. So lots that's happened in the last few hours since Ajit Pawar was sworn in as the Deputy Chief Minister. You had Sharad Pawar holding this Mahayatra, which was essentially a show of strength, because as I mentioned earlier, it's all about perception, it's all about optics and showing off who has the support. We will in fact get you those images also of Sharad Pawar and how he held this massive public rally, this massive public campaign earlier today, after in fact he visited his political mentor's memorial. The message was very clear. Sharad Pawar is not backing down without a fight. He's already expelled, taken decisions and sacked most of the NCP MLAs, all of them in fact, who have rebelled against the party, who've joined Ajit Pawar's side, including the two MPs, Sunil Tatkare as well as Praful Patel. All of this has also been initiated by Supriya Sule, who shot off one letter after another to Sharad Pawar, seeking action against these leaders. As we get you all the latest updates coming in right now, there was also, of course, a press conference by Praful Patel, Ajit Pawar, as well as Chhagan Bhujbal. What was the takeaway from that? It was essentially that you had The Ajit Pawar faction claiming that they are the only ones who can actually make any sort of organizational changes. But these are images that Ajit Pawar cannot ignore. The kind of support that Sharad Pawar still has. He's a patriarch. Many would say he's ready for retirement from active politics. But the images on your screen speaks volumes of the kind of respect that people still hold for him, the kind of support that he still enjoys. So these are, in fact, images that we're getting to you from just a few hours ago of Pawar paying homage to his political mentor. And then you had thousands of people, all of his supporters, coming together there. A sea of supporters with a very clear message that Sharad Pawar is the boss. Many of whom we spoke to said all of this has been orchestrated by the BJP. But the reality is that while all of these loyalists are with Sharad Pawar, where do the MLAs stand? And that's what it will effectively come down to. At this point, the numbers that we showed you, Ajit Pawar claims he has a support of 40. But if you actually break it down, it's about 24. And at no point publicly have they actually declared, even today in the press meet, they said we have the support. We have the support of majority MLAs. But did they take a name? Absolutely not. There was no mention of anyone mentioned really at this point. Let's get you breaking news that's coming in right now. The CBI has filed a charge sheet in the land for jobs scam against Lalu Yadav, Rabri Devi as well as Tejaswi Yadav. Another scam that continues to haunt the Lalu family. The charge sheet has been filed in this particular case, which means you could see more action being taken against Lalu Yadav, Tejaswi and Rabri Devi. Remember, it is in the land for job scam that only recently you had Tejaswi also being questioned. There was, in fact, Lalu and Rabri Devi, those images from a few months ago of them being questioned as well at the CBI headquarters. This charge sheet has now been filed in the Rouse Avenue court. Munish Pandey is joining us with more details on this. Munish, run us through what are the charges really against Lalu and his family?
Well, Akshita, the Central Bureau of Investigation had filed a case against Lalu Yadav and certain public servants in the case on the allegations that Lalu Yadav, when he was the union minister in Indian Railways, there were people who were given job in railways in exchange of selling their land to family members of Lalu Yadav and certain entities linked to Lalu Yadav family. These were the allegations. The CBI filed an FIR and then later they started investigating this case. Now we have been given to understand is that a charge sheet has been filed by the Central Bureau of Investigation against Bihar's Deputy Chief Minister Tejaswi Yadav, his father and former Union Railway Minister Lalu Yadav and former Bihar Chief Minister Rabri Devi in this case. Apart from these, there are certain public servants who have been made accused in the case. Now, this charge sheet will be a big blow for Lalu Yadav because remember, in few cases, Lalu Yadav has been convicted by the court. But in this case, what we have been given to understand is that CBI claims that they have concrete evidence against Lalu Yadav. Remember, when he returned from Singapore after his treatment there, the Central Bureau of Investigation recorded his statement. Rabri Yadav's statement was also recorded. Yes. And recently, even Tejaswi Yadav appeared before the CBI at its headquarters in Delhi, and Correct. His statement was already recorded.
All right. Thanks very much, Munish, for joining us with that update. We'll keep tracking the latest on this story. And here on India Today, we've been getting you every political twist and turn coming in from Maharashtra. But is a similar crisis also brewing in the state of Bihar? There's been speculation rife over Nitish Kumar having one-on-one meetings with legislators, with members of parliament, as the BJP has claimed that a situation similar to Maharashtra is going to play out in Bihar, that there's a rift, a divide in the JDU.
The tremors of the political quake in Maharashtra are being felt all the way in Bihar.
आरजेडी को छोड़कर आने के बाद जब उनके 45 एमएलए चुनकर आए थे नीतीश कुमार जी की, उसके बावजूद भी मतलब उनको मुख्यमंत्री पद दे दिया था, लेकिन कुछ दिनों के बाद वो फिर आरजेडी के पास चले गए। तो इसीलिए एमएलए में विधायकों में नाराजगी है और बिहार में भी इसी तरह का बंड हो सकता है।
On Sunday, Bihar CM Nitish Kumar met his MLAs.
हम लोग एकजुट रहे, माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने यही कहा कि हम लोग एकजुट रहे और पार्टी जो काम कर रही है उसको आगे बढ़ते रहना चाहिए। कहीं कोई परेशानी है तो फिर हमको बताइए।
न सीआईडी है न कोई गबन का आरोप है, सब पर जो कुछ हो, लेकिन नीतीश बाबू का ही नाम विपक्ष नहीं बोल रहा है, अमित शाह भी नहीं बोल रहे हैं, न प्रधानमंत्री बोल रहे हैं। तो नीतीश बाबू योग्य भी है और हर गुणवत्ता उनमें है।
State BJP president set the cat among the pigeons by declaring that several leaders from Nitish Kumar's JDU were willing to defect because they were unhappy with the Bihar CM.
बिहार की जनता नीतीश कुमार जी को एक घंटा मुख्यमंत्री नहीं देखना चाहती और विधायकों में डर पैदा हो गया है कि अब नीतीश कुमार जी के साथ रहेंगे तो नैया मेरी डूब जाएगी।
The political chatter in Bihar went into overdrive with this admission by the JDU president Lallan Singh.
7,000 करोड़ रुपए के घोटाला में एनसीपी के नेता फंसे हुए हैं, तो वो जितने थे सब तो वॉशिंग मशीन में चले गए। ये डर दिखा के लोगों को भयभीत करके धन बल का प्रयोग करके ये सब काम करते हैं।
Other Bihar netas also fueled the fire.
मुख्यमंत्री तो जनता के बीच जाते नहीं और जब जब गए उनका भी विरोध ही हुआ है। ऐसे में एक असंतोष मुख्यमंत्री नीतीश कुमार जी की पार्टी में है। बहुत जल्द जनता दल यूनाइटेड में भी एक बड़ी टूट संभव है।
As reports of a Bihar rebellion gained steam, BJP neta and former deputy CM Sushil Modi declared that the party's doors were closed for Nitish Kumar.
नीतीश कुमार के बारे में तो पहले ही अमित शाह जी ने साफ कर दिया है कि किसी कीमत पर नीतीश कुमार को हम स्वीकार नहीं करेंगे और से वो नाक भी रगड़ेंगे आकर बीजेपी के दरवाजे पर, तो भी बीजेपी कभी नीतीश कुमार को स्वीकार नहीं करेगी और नहीं ढोने के लिए और भविष्य में तैयार।
Ahead of 2024, will Maharashtra coup rewrite political equations in other states too? Bureau Report, India Today.
And let's bring in on this broadcast Rohit Singh, who's joining us live from Patna. Rohit, good evening. Is there any truth to all of these reports suggesting that, a Maharashtra-like crisis could play out in Bihar with the JDU?
Well, Akshita, there is some sort of a tension definitely which is brewing in Bihar, and which is, you can say, like aftershocks of what happened in Maharashtra. Because you see, the kind of political development that is taking place in the state in the last 3-4 days, Nitish Kumar has started meeting all his party MLAs, MPs and MLCs. One-to-one meetings are happening. So this is not what Nitish Kumar is known for, that of having one-to-one meetings with his MLAs and leaders. But this is what is happening for the last 3-4 days. And this clearly signifies that Nitish Kumar is apprehensive that something what happened in Maharashtra could be brewing and simmering in Bihar too, and especially ahead of 2024 Lok Sabha elections. Because remember, there are a lot of MPs who won on JDU ticket. They had defeated RJD candidates and Congress candidates in 2019. But now JDU, RJD and Congress are all united in Mahagathbandhan. So it is a fact that several JDU MPs, their tickets will be cut. They will not be getting tickets to fight elections, and that is why they are also worried about their own future in politics. And Nitish Kumar also knows that, and that is why he has started negotiations and talks with his party leaders, trying to gauge the mood as to what they are up to. Have they been approached by some political parties like BJP or NCP?
Nitish Kumar is holding one-on-one meets with these legislators. Let's see what emerges in the next day or two from Bihar. Thanks for the moment for joining us with all of those details. Since Prime Minister Narendra Modi last week made a strong pitch for uniform civil code, there's been, of course, non-stop talk, discussion and debate over it. In a crucial update that comes in today, the parliamentary panel, which is on law and justice, held a meeting to discuss UCC as well. Now, this particular panel came together. It's a high-level parliamentary standing committee that held a meeting that's headed by BJP Rajya Sabha MP Sushil Modi. The committee deliberated on the proposal and is seeking views of all stakeholders on the matter. The politics, of course, continues as each political party is taking a side as far as UCC is concerned. PDP very clearly has lashed out at the BJP, saying they're against UCC. As former Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti says UCC lacked basic fundamentals. Congress, meanwhile, remains to sit on the fence on this issue. They're saying that till we see a draft, we don't know what our stand is going to be. However, they've questioned the motive, the agenda behind bringing it at this time, saying there's a clear communal agenda. At this point, Sena too remains non-committal, saying they'll speak post the draft of UCC being made available. They've, however, given their in-principle support to UCC, much like AAP.
कांग्रेस 140 करोड़ भारतवासियों, हिंदू, मुसलमानों, सिखों, ईसाई, आदिवासी, जनजाति और तमाम उत्तर, दक्षिण, पूर्व, पश्चिम की परंपराओं की हत्या नहीं होने देगी, किसी के धर्म पर कोई चोट नहीं आने देगी। हम ड्राफ्ट देखें, ये तो भाजपा सिर्फ पोलराइजेशन कराने के लिए कर रही है।
पार्लियामेंट्री पैनल की बैठक होती है, गोपनीय बैठक होती है। फिर मैं इतना ही कह सकता हूं कि जो पर्सनल लॉ है, रिफॉर्म्स इन पर्सनल लॉ, इस मुद्दे पर हम लोगों ने लॉ कमीशन को बुलाया है, भारत सरकार के मंत्रालय को भी बुलाया है। तो इतना ही मैं केवल कह सकता हूं, बाकी मीटिंग में क्या होगा नहीं होगा ये गोपनीय मुद्दा रहता है, सभी पार्टी के लोग रहते हैं, इस बैठक के बारे में से ज्यादा कुछ नहीं कहा जा सकता।
चुनाव से पहले ऐसी कोई काम करो जिससे खलबली फैल जाए। तो आज ही क्यों यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड, जब 7 महीने चुनाव को रह गए हैं, 5 साल की बात की थी, ये वादे 5 साल पहले के वादे थे, उनको यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड पहले लेकर आना चाहिए था। इसके ऊपर चर्चा और विवाद जो थे उसमें बैठ के बातचीत करनी चाहिए थी।
धारा 44 संविधान की कहती है कि सभी समुदायों से बातचीत करके जो भी सरकार होगी वो यूसीसी लाने का प्रयास करेगी, उसमें लिखा हुआ है साफ तौर पे। क्या इन्होंने कोई ईमानदारी से प्रयास किया? क्या सिखों के समूह से बातचीत की, जैन समूह से बातचीत की? बात सार्थक दिशा में होनी चाहिए, सभी समुदायों से बातचीत होनी चाहिए और उसके बाद एक कंसेंसस बना के आप यूसीसी के ऊपर काम कीजिए। आपकी मंशा ही नहीं, 9 साल तक तो मोदी सरकार भांग खा के सोती रही, जब 10 महीने चुनाव का रह गया तो अब कह रहे हैं यूसीसी लागू करना है। तो इसलिए इनकी मंशा पर बुनियादी तौर पे सवाल है।
उनके पास अब कोई मुद्दा नहीं है 2024 के चुनाव के लिए। राम मंदिर हो गया, 370 हो गया, ट्रिपल तलाक भी हो गया, तो 2024 से पहले ये मुद्दा लाया है, लेकिन हम उसका ऊपर डिबेट करेंगे। हम देखेंगे नया ड्राफ्ट क्या बनाया है। कानून है, देश को दिशा देने वाला एक कानून बनने जा रहा है, तो ड्राफ्ट तो देखना पड़ेगा। अगर समाज के हित में है, राष्ट्र के हित में है, तो उस पर डिबेट करेंगे।
हमारे पास ऑलरेडी यूनिफॉर्म क्रिमिनल कोड है और वो बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है, क्योंकि बिल्किस बानो के रेपिस्ट को छोड़ दिया गया और हमारी जो पहलवान बच्ची हैं उनका रेपिस्ट खुला घूम रहा है। टमाटर जो है 25 रुपए से 100 रुपए किलो आपको भी मिलता है, मुझे भी वही मिलता है। नौकरियां ना हिंदुओं को मिल रही है ना मुसलमान। दैट इज द यूनिफॉर्मिटी जो इस कंट्री में इस वक्त। गैस की जो कीमत है 500 से 1200 हो गई है, वो यूनिफॉर्मिटी है। आप इन्होंने कहा था कि 2 करोड़ रोजगार देंगे, ना आपको मिला, ना मुसलमान को, ना मिला हिंदू, वो तो सब यूनिफॉर्म चल रहा है। अब कौन सी यूनिफॉर्मिटी लाना चाहते हैं वो मुझे बताइए। अगर वो कोई ऐसा कानून है जिससे टमाटर की कीमत फिर 25 रुपए हो जाएगी, यहाँ के नौजवानों को 2 करोड़ रोजगार मिलेगा, अगर पहलवान बच्चियों को इंसाफ मिलेगा, उनका रेपिस्ट जेल में डाल दोगे आप, तो शायद हो सकता है कि किसी को कोई एतराज नहीं होगा।
हिंदुस्तान के लिए यूसीसी आना अनिवार्य है, क्योंकि एक देश में अलग अलग कानून कैसे हो सकते हैं। हम सब लोग भी ये समझते हैं कि देश में एक ही कानून होना जरूरी है। सब इकट्ठा हो रहे हैं, लेकिन उसमें से ही कई पार्टियां यूसीसी के मुद्दे पे भारतीय जनता पार्टी के साथ है, यूसीसी के साथ में है, और जो पार्टियां विरोध कर रही है उनको डर है कि कहीं उनका वोट बैंक न चला जाए।
Let's get you the inside track that we're picking up of what really transpired in the parliamentary panel meet that, as you know, consists of different political parties also coming together. Now, what we're picking up is that the BSP has also come on board. They're saying that we too believe there's a need for UCC, and they've cited the fact that there are similar reforms that are already there in the United States as well. Reportedly, Sena at this point is skeptical over UCC. They've already confirmed that they want to see the draft before they take a stand, and Sanjay Raut, who was there in that meeting, said he was skeptical if it would affect the Northeast. There's been a lot of talk about that, how this could also affect different and could affect cultural diversity as well. This crucial parliamentary panel meet has taken place where several political parties have put their stand clearly up front. Let's take this across to Maushmi Singh. She's joining us live with more details on this. Maushmi, as far as the BSP is concerned, they're on board. They're saying we are for UCC. I understand you also have a guest with you from the BSP.
Right, Akshita. The big takeaway is that already the Law Commission has opened suggestions for the UCC, and almost 19 lakh suggestions have come as it nears the closing date. The other big takeaway is the opposition members have questioned the timing of it all. We are joined by BSP MP Manuk Nagar, and we'll take his reaction because, as I told you, that the BSP sources say has come out in support. Now, of course, Manuk Nagar Sahab is bound by the oath of secrecy, but I will try and dig out whatever best possible we can. Manuk Sahab, how do you see this coming about? क्या अभी वक्त लगेगा? बताया जा रहा है 5-6 महीने और लगेंगे, और तमाम विपक्षी दलों ने आपत्ति जताई कि ये लोकसभा चुनाव से पहले क्यों उठाया जा रहा है मामला।
देखिए, जहां तक डीओपीटी एंड लॉ जस्टिस कमेटी की बात है, उसकी तो गोपनीयता रखी जाती है, वो बताया नहीं जाता है। लेकिन जहां तक बात है पार्टी बेस पे या अपने बेस पे एज एमपी, तो कुमारी बहन मायावती जी ने कहा है देश हित और जनहित को ध्यान में रखते हुए अगर देश को फायदा होता है और इस देश के दलितों को फायदा होता है तो उनके साथ हैं और इससे देश को मजबूती मिलेगी। लेकिन साथ में जो दलित समाज के लोग हैं उनको अडॉप्शन वाले में बहुत फायदा होगा। लेकिन दलितों में ही जो दूसरे एसटी आते हैं, जो जम्मू कश्मीर के, हिमाचल के और उत्तराखंड के जो मुस्लिम गुजर और दूसरे जो दलित हैं, जो आदिवासी हैं, उनको अगर कोई कंफ्यूजन है, और जो अकलियत समाज के लोग हैं, मुस्लिम समाज के लोग हैं, उनको अगर कोई कंफ्यूजन है तो उनको खास करके लॉ कमीशन और सरकार को देश में एक माहौल बनाना चाहिए, गांव स्तर पे और विधानसभा स्तर, तहसील स्तर, लोकसभा स्तर, जिला स्तर, प्रदेश और देश स्तर पे कि समन्वय की भावना बनाए और आराम से सर्वसम्मति से बात करें। जहां तक बात टाइमिंग की है, 1947 से 52 तक बाबा अंबेडकर साहब कॉन्स्टिट्यूट असेंबली में हमेशा बोलते रहे और पक्षधर रहे इसके। तो जब 70 साल से 68 साल से कांग्रेस ने जब नहीं करा, सब मैं खत्म कर रहा हूं, तो जल्दी क्या है, आराम से करें, हाबड़-दाबड़
इसके पहले करें कि बाद में करें? हम
तो ये कह रहे हैं देश में दो दलितों को और अकलियत समाज के मुसलमान लोगों को कहीं कंफ्यूजन है। अगर उनका कंफ्यूजन दूर हो जाए तो 24 से पहले लाना चाहे पहले ले आए, लेकिन अगर उनका कंफ्यूजन दूर नहीं होता तो जल्दी क्या है, फिर आराम से करें, इसमें क्या दिक्कत है?
अगर और मगर की स्थिति, इफ्स एंड बट्स, अ लॉट ऑफ इफ्स एंड बट्स, अक्षता। बट आई आस्क द अदर क्वेश्चन। बहुत सारे ऑपोजिशन मेंबर्स ने बोला कि सिख समुदाय की अपनी चिंताएं हैं, नॉर्थ ईस्ट को लेकर चिंता जताई गई कि मिजोरम हो या फिर मणिपुर हो, उसमें अपने कानून है और असेंबली का अप्रूवल चाहिए होता है। तो खबर ये भी है कि चेयरपर्सन साहब ने खुद कहा कि नॉर्थ ईस्ट और ट्राइबल्स पे ये लागू नहीं होना चाहिए।
देखिए,
फिर कैसी यूनिफॉर्म?
पारसी लोगों के लिए भी है, सिख धर्म के लिए भी है, जैन धर्म के लिए भी है, ईसाई धर्म के लिए भी है, मुस्लिम धर्म के लिए भी है, हिंदू धर्म के लिए भी है। हिंदू धर्म के गोवा में 2 शादियां कर सकते हैं, उनके लिए भी है। इसीलिए हम कह रहे हैं कि सर्वसम्मति से गांव से लेकर जिले और प्रदेश तक सहमति बनाई जाए, जब लाया जाए, जल्दी ना करें।
So there you are, Manuk Nagar from the BSP saying wide consultations should be held. Akshita, we are told that the Law Commission will take about 5-6 months to give its report to the ministry, and this will not be like a consultative paper, so the ministry can make a bill out of it.
Right. All right, Maushmi, thanks very much for joining us with all of those details. A lot of views that are coming in right now on the Uniform Civil Code, and many who are also opposing it. Joining us here on India Today, I'd like to introduce now live and exclusive here on 6 PM Prime, Kerala Governor Mr. Arif Mohammad Khan. Mr. Arif Mohammad Khan, thank you for joining us here on India Today, sir. I'm curious to know what really your view is on the Uniform Civil Code, considering back in 1986, I remember you walked out of the Congress over the handling of the Shah Bano case. So what's your view on UCC?
Constitution clearly says, Article 44, the 4th chapter of the Constitution, which lays down the directive principles of state policy, and it says that the provisions contained in this part shall not be enforceable by any court, but the principles therein laid down are nevertheless fundamental in the governance of the country, and it shall be the duty of the state to apply these principles in making laws. And Uniform Civil Code is one of the directive principles where state is obliged to secure for the citizens a uniform civil code throughout the territory of India. Therefore, my view and your view, once we have accepted the Constitution to be our national scripture, then there is no way we can run away from that. No. And uniform civil code, in my opinion, is not to bring about uniformity of customs, uniformity of rituals, or uniformity of practices. It is about uniformity of justice. That if two persons placed in similar circumstances, if they go to the court, then while delivering the justice, no distinction is made on the basis of the religious affiliation of these people. It is about uniformity of justice.
Mr. Arif Mohammad Khan, you're saying there's no differences, and that's what Uniform Civil Code is all about. It's quite the opposite reaction that's coming from many political leaders, including the Kerala Chief Minister, Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan, who all deem UCC as being discriminatory against Muslims. You as a Muslim, sir, what do you have to say to them?
When the draft, nobody has seen so far the draft. Yeah. How can you label this kind of criticism? And then you should ask him that when the left parties were betting for uniform civil code at least till 1990, Mr. E.M.S. Namboodiripad was the most vocal supporter when I had resigned from the government. Then what has happened in between for the left parties to depart from their earlier stand?
Okay, but you know, Mr. Arif Mohammad Khan, it's not just the likes of the Kerala Chief Minister. There are many who claim to represent Muslims across the country. The AIMPLB, Mr. Asaduddin Owaisi of the AIMIM, they too have taken a very, very clear and rigid stand against the UCC. Why is that? Why is it that there are so many of these groups that are saying, look, we don't want Uniform Civil Code?
I do not know about the Muslims or any sectional. I never look at things from this angle, because serving sectional interest goes against the spirit of the Constitution. But I know one thing, that this will definitely serve the cause of uniformity of justice. And I shall not be, no two persons who are victim of the same kind of oppression will be, in delivering the justice, they will not be discriminated on the ground of religion.
But do you, Mr. Arif Mohammad Khan, believe that if a UCC is brought in, it will trample upon a Muslim's right to practice religion?
No, well, everybody is entitled to their opinion, and we know Law Commission has already asked people to give their opinion. They can give. In fact, they can prepare even a draft and send it to the Law Commission and the government to ensure that it is not HCC, it is UCC. And they can be rest assured that every suggestion which anybody makes will be given serious consideration.
So you've mentioned how this process is going about, that there are in fact consultations that are happening with groups, with religious groups, to get their view as well. Do you agree with how this is being conducted, sir, before UCC is brought in?
What else the Law Commission is doing? They have already written to everybody. They are consulting them. We are a huge country. This is the only manner in which you can consult people.
And finally, Mr. Arif Mohammad Khan, you're the governor of a beautiful state like Kerala, which is also culturally diverse. There's also concern and some criticism that's come forth saying that, look, UCC could trample upon cultural diversity. What's your response to that?
I have already made it clear that the purpose of law cannot be to bring about uniformity of custom, ritual or practices, or labeling these differences. The purpose of the law is to bring about uniformity of justice. Where two persons placed in similar circumstances, they are not delivered different kind of justices because they belong to different religions.
Okay, very interesting perspective. Thanks very much, Mr. Arif Mohammad Khan, for taking the time out and joining us here on India Today. The Kerala governor, someone who's also in history, in 1986, taken a stand in the Shah Banu case, saying very clearly that he believes Uniform Civil Code must be implemented in the country. That's all we have time for on this broadcast. Thanks very much for tuning into this edition of 6 p.m. Prime.